I figure seeing how it's winter, we would crack into an MCW, or a meal cold weather. Not to be confused with a 24-hour ration cold weather, or RCW. This one we've got, it's menu number 1, beef stroganoff with noodles. Beef stroganoff happens to be one of my favorite meals. I love it with that awesome sour cream taste. This one is packaged by the Warnick Company of Cincinnati, Ohio. And nothing else on the bag. Without further ado, let's bust this thing open and see what we have inside. Now, the old school stuff used to have the same white interior packaging. But over time, they just said, hey, let's just go to a standardized film. And that is what we've got to this day. Everything out of the bag. This is the main, of course. Beef stroganoff with noodles. You can see it is prepared and packaged by Mountain House. And you can see it is vacuum packed to the gills. And this has 4.8 ounces of product inside. And of course, we're always going to add 16 ounces of water, or 1 pound of water. Ordinarily, if you add all that water, it's going to make this real soupy, so we're just going to put about 13 to 14 ounces. Have the fig bar. There's probably 2 individual fig bars in here. Mocha Dessert Bar. These are pretty tasty. Beverage powder orange. 2 of those. I don't know if somebody screwed up. Accessory packet. We'll take a look at this in a second. You can see this is from 2007 on the 230th day. MRE spoon. And wow, another beverage. This is a vanilla dairy shake. And you can also see it is labeled MCW, which means it probably has a few more things in here to increase the calorie count. Of course, we have some toilet paper, moist towelette, sugar, non-dairy creamer, hot sauce. That's kind of odd to have hot sauce with beef stroganoff. Matches, instant coffee, and lastly, your chiclets. Well, let's run upstairs and get this prepared and the drinks ready to go. Okay, now we are back. Now, as you saw when I made this, I put a little spoonful of powdered sour cream in here just to give it that smooth silkiness, creaminess that I really enjoy. And I only added 12 ounces of water. Now, when I was preparing this, I was trying to show you these nutrition facts. It is incredibly hard to see on this type of laminated film, but the sodium content is 1,690 milligrams, which is 70% of your daily recommended allowance. These things are packed with sodium. So if you have high blood pressure and you're not doing a high exertion workload, you might want to stay away from these. And then, of course, you saw these poor, beat up, sad looking Fig Newtons when they came out. They were just smashed. But our Mocha bar is looking pretty well. I want to dig in and try this while this is still nice and steaming hot. And just one more trick. When you open these up, if you do have one of these, seal up the top as best as you can and get all the stuff off the bottom. Give it a good crunch and get it moving around. That way it'll aid you better to get the liquid or the water down to the bottom so everything incorporates nicely. Because, man, I've had some fails over the years, and it seems like I've finally perfected it. Here's a nice little look at it. It smells really good. It is indeed salty, and you would expect that with that amount of sodium. But that sour cream that I added really tempered it. And that stuff was reasonably cheap, too. I think I got it on Amazon for like $7. Let's try another one. Get a little of this meat on here. And of course, if you had your field pantry, you could spice it up with some crushed red pepper, or some of my favorites, some good garlic powder or onion powder, whatever you want. If you wanted Creole seasoning, you could add it to your beef stroganoff to make it your own. And again, just this alone, this is 620 calories. And it probably was a good idea to have 2 of these orange drinks in there, because when you're in a cold environment, you have to drink fluids like crazy. And we added 12 ounces of water to that. Pretty tasty. It was 6 ounces of water to our dairy shake. Let's give our poor old bashed up Fig Newton a go. The outer coating is still nice and pliable. There's no little crunchy bits to it. And the fig on the inside is almost like it was made yesterday. Nice, creamy. It's got that nice little chewy bit to it. You get them little fig seed kind of action going. Very, very good. Now this dairy shake. This could be kind of interesting to show. I mean, it's just a straight up drink. It does have a few little chunky bits in there, which is kind of good. Reminds me a little bit of minkol in those Indonesian rations. It's very foamy. It kind of sticks on your teeth. It really coats the inside of your mouth. This might be something that would go good with a high acidity type meal to help temper that. If you had acid reflux or something like that, this would probably be beneficial to you. And seeing how it's a snowy day here, we actually will put just a little bit of this on here. Just kind of heat it up just a little bit. Get some garlic in here, because anything that you can do with your field chow to make it taste better is a huge plus. We'll just mix some of both of them up together. That gives it a nice zing, and this garlic powder just kind of tempers it. And we'll even try some of our hot sauce, just so we say that we did it. And I'll just dribble some right over here. It's got a little crushed red pepper in there too. And with both of them on there, gives it a nice little zing. Take another swig of our orange drink, cleanse our palate. And all we really have left is our Mocha Dessert Bar. They have a peanut butter dessert bar that I had in the first strike ration. Absolutely incredible. It just smells like chocolate. I don't smell like any mocha coffee, anything like that on this. And what these things remind me of, and I know there's probably not going to be a lot of you out there, but if you were a kid that was growing up in the 70s and you remember those Carnation instant breakfast bars, That's exactly what these remind me of. It just takes me right back to being a kid when you had these. That's what you got when your folks didn't want to make you cereal. Just sit down and have a Carnation breakfast bar. And in Europe, having chocolate and coffee kind of is a breakfast type thing. I'm just going to dip a little bit in this coffee. Good stuff. And then we'll have a swig. It's pretty warm. I think before I close this out, I'm going to dig out some of this beef and give a little to the MRE taster dogs. I'm sure they will appreciate that. But everybody, thanks for hanging out with me today. This was a meal cold weather, or MCW, menu number 1, beef stroganoff with noodles. My next project is going to be a ration that Art and Nina sent to me, so thank you for an MRE, and I will see you all on my next review. Bye.